Our goal here with Small Bites is to let you go home with some tips and tricks about various mental health topics. Today is December 8th, and we're doing our Small Bites on YouTube. And if you will, join us tomorrow on Instagram Live for our Small Bites chat. There you can ask us questions and engage with us about what you learned about today's topic. As I mentioned, I'm a therapist, so I work with lots of clients on interpersonal issues, maybe family disruptions, especially around the holiday time or with holidays coming up. So one thing that can be really helpful is to create a genogram, which is actually just a formalized visual family map or a family tree. When I work with people in therapy, it can be really helpful to identify reasons why we do what we do. Why we think what we think and the ways that we approach our lives. And one thing that can be helpful is to look at intergenerational family patterns. We're going to talk about what a genogram is, how to make one, and what to do with it. So the first question you might be asking is, what is a genogram? So again, it's a formalized family map, family tree, if you will, and it's visual, and it may look something like this. In this family map, we want to identify at least 2 generations. We want to label everyone's names, ages, and then as we move forward through the video, we'll talk about all the different things that you can start to add to this family map. So how do we start a genogram? We want to start with our parents. And so we want to start with our mother or father, or maybe we have 2 mothers, or maybe we were raised by 1 mother. We really just want to start with one level of family members. So typically men in a genogram are a square, and then women are represented by a circle. As we know, that's a fairly heteronormative way to look at families, and so there are various ways that your genogram might look different from somebody else's. And there are markers that represent individuals who are transgender as well. So generationally, we're going to go from the top to the bottom. So our parents, our caregivers are above ourselves, and then we'll be above our children. When 2 people are connected through a relationship, we use a horizontal line. And then we want to add the children below that, usually from oldest to youngest. We then want to add everyone's names and everyone's ages into the genogram. In the end, you may have a map that looks something like this. So you may start to notice different relationships that are coming up immediately just as you're looking at your family map. We want to look at connections and disconnections among various relationships. And so if you have 2 individuals that were once together, but now they're separated or divorced, we want to indicate that with 2 slashes in that horizontal line that connects the 2 individuals. We also might want to add things like double lines, which might show a really strong connection between a mother and a daughter, for example. So 3 things that you may want to start adding into your life map that you're looking at are things like different professions. Do you have individuals in your family who are teachers, and you're starting to realize through this map that you have 3 generations of teachers? You may include military experience. You may want to include religious beliefs. You could also include drug or alcohol use or mental health factors such as depression, PTSD, and anxiety. One really cool thing about a genogram is you get to add anything that feels applicable to your family. So your family genogram is clearly going to look different than mine. You can also add things like adoptions. You can add disabilities. You can add medical conditions. You can add education level. You can add country of origin, location. So through all of these different identifiers, you can start to see patterns within your family. So after you've added in all of these elements of your family map, you start to see patterns emerge that you may not have been aware of before. You may understand why I act this way or why I got into this profession. As you're looking at your family map, you've got all of these symbols. I forgot to add, don't forget to create a key for all the symbols that you've created. It honestly doesn't matter which symbol goes with which line, which family feature, which trait, as long as it's something that makes sense to you. Unless you're wanting to compare it with someone else's family, say your partner's family tree, and you're looking at some of those connections that are similar between both families, it really doesn't matter which symbols you use. So now you can start to identify family patterns that you may not have been aware of before. You may start to understand cultural differences, value differences, or similarities. So far we've talked about what a genogram is, how to create one, and now what do we do with it? Now that you're identifying all of these patterns, you can start to grow and decide which things do I want to keep and which things do I want to change. Another thing you can do with your genogram is take it to therapy. Your therapist can help you look for some patterns that you may not be aware of. And once you're able to identify those patterns and what you want to do with them, you can grow. If you find that you have more questions after doing your genogram activity, be sure to join us tomorrow for our Small Bites Live on Instagram. You can also check us out on thegraciousmind.com. Reach out to us if you need some therapy support. We've also got lots of blogs, upcoming information and events. We look forward to seeing you more.